Coaches get paid millions of dollars to make the simplest decisions, yet on NFC AFC Championship Sunday, coaches were making blunders all over the place once again. This is your Pub Sports Radio hot topic of the day. I'm Donnie Seymour, and this is your Pub Sports Radio hot topic of the day. Coaches are paid millions of dollars to make the right decisions, and sometimes just the simplest decisions, but we find ourselves watching these games at home saying, "What the hell is going on out here?" like Vince Lombardi used to say. Even in the playoffs, we can even review Mike Tomlin's punt versus the Cleveland Browns, which made no sense in a game that they needed momentum, and it was a 4th and 1. The same thing can be said about Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans when he also punted inside of Ravens territory. Turned out to be a bad decision. The Ravens went the opposite way and scored points off of that drive instead of going for it to try to maximize your position in the game. But it came up yesterday in a huge way, and we'll start out by looking at the first game between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Matt LaFleur, first off, before we even get to the decision at the end of the football game, they score a touchdown, the Green Bay Packers, to make the game 28-23, which is a 5-point game in, I think it was late third quarter, early fourth quarter. Now, if you're going for 2, that means you have limited possessions the rest of the way, where you might not get the football back out. So if you do get the football, you want it to be a 3-point game. At that point in the game, there was no reason whatsoever to go for a 2-point conversion. So the Packers go for a 2-point conversion. They drop the 2-point conversion pass. It's a 5-point game instead of a 4-point game. Why is that significant? Because the only points Tampa Bay scored the remainder of that ball game was a field goal. It should have been a 7-point game, not an 8-point game. So let's fast forward to late in the fourth quarter, which had everybody talking about Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers at the 8-yard line setting up a 4th and 8. Now, the play previous, maybe Aaron Rodgers could have ran the ball in, but even if he didn't run it in, he probably would have picked up 4 to 5 yards and at least put that football inside the 5-yard line for at least an easier chance at a 4th down conversion. Now, as we saw it play out, everybody at home, and typically this is when you know you're wrong as a football coach, when the common fan, the educated fan, and just the cheering fan at home says, "Oh my God, what is he doing?" That's taking Aaron Rodgers off the football field on a 4th and goal from the 8-yard line and kicking a field goal and saying, "We're going to get the football back, and then yet we got to drive the length of the field and punch in a touchdown anyway at this point?" And some people even tried to explain, hey, it went from 27% win chance if you kick the field goal to 25% if you went for it, which is a ridiculous notion because anybody that knows a computer and an analytics guy, it doesn't take into account that you have probably the most talented quarterback in the history of the game with the 4th down and 8. It's not Blake Bortles, it's not Ben DiNucci, and also on the opposite side of the football, you have the single best quarterback and or football player to ever play in the NFL that's going to get the football back that basically needs 1 conversion and the game is over. Unbelievable that Matt LaFleur would have went for that. First of all, with the 2-point conversion, which was idiotic, and then obviously at the end of the football game. And sometimes when we root it on whether we have money or not, you root on the bad decision to lose the football game because it was a bad decision and you don't want to see it play out. Say, hey, that will look like it was a good decision. Wrong decision all the way around. Let's take a look at the Buffalo Bills game. Sean McDermott, Bills riding high. It's going to be hard to beat the Chiefs. We knew it was going to be hard to beat the Chiefs. But when you get a 4th and goal from the 2-yard line down 21-9 at the end of the first half, and you kick the field goal to make it 21-12 heading into the break, knowing the Chiefs get the football right out of the break, unbelievable. You don't kick field goals to beat teams like the Kansas City Chiefs. And then even better stuff at the end of the game. They score a touchdown, the Buffalo Bills, to make it 38-15. The game's probably already over. But it's a 17-point game. If you kick the extra point, you make it a 2-possession game. If you go for 2, hey, it's 15 points. It's still a 2-possession game. But you know what happens if you go for 2 and don't get it? It's a 3-possession game. Sean McDermott, idiotic in his game as well, along with Matt LaFleur, but we see it all the time. The simplest decisions that everybody can make sitting on their couch at home. Coaches that get paid between $5 and $10 million a year have no idea, it seems like, what they're doing in the highest, most tense situations that need a simple decision. It's amazing it goes on in the NFL, but you know what? We'll probably see it in the Super Bowl as well. I'm Donnie Seymour for Pub Sports Radio. This was your Hot Topic of the Day.